It blows my mind that there are still so many people out there who are calling kids these days soft, weak, or lazy, selfish, entitled, and irresponsible, and that they need more punishment. They need harsher consequences. We need to keep them in line because otherwise they're going to walk all over us, be so selfish, egocentric, and call the shots. Oh my goodness. What they're missing is that punishment doesn't teach. It shuts down. And I am here to tell you that emotional intelligence is the discipline method of the future. It builds cooperation through connection, not fear. And how do we build this connection that we need with them? Well, it's by dialing up our emotional intelligence. Us, the parents, the adults, the teachers, the big people around these kids, we need to be modeling what we want them to learn and to embody and to be able to do themselves. That just makes sense. I promise you, emotional intelligence is no longer a luxury. It is the missing link in parenting today. Without it, families stay stuck in this cycle of yelling and shame and disconnection. But with it, they build these connected relationships where kids thrive emotionally and socially and mentally. I want you to think about something. How long would you hang around in a romantic relationship if your partner was constantly yelling, shaming, criticizing, and controlling you? How long would that relationship last? Would you want to do what they ask you or to help them out or to do things that please them? Hell no. That behavior does not fly in a romantic relationship. It doesn't fly in a friendship, and it does not fly in a parent and child dynamic either. I want to go back to punishment for a second. Like I said at the start, there are still so many people who think when kids are not behaving properly, when they're not meeting our expectations, they just need to be pulled in line. We need to be harsher on them. They need to learn the consequences of their actions. They need more harsh punishments. Oh my goodness, let me set the record straight. We know from our own experiences in relationships that if we're punished, if we are yelled at, criticized, all that stuff I just said, we don't want to be there. We are not feeling loving or in awe and inspired by our partner who's telling us we should have done this, we shouldn't have done that, you made a mistake, and we don't love that. That pushes us further and further away from that person. We think, I don't want to be around you. You cannot accept me for making mistakes and not being perfect. It absolutely ruins relationships. So why would we think that if we act this way to a child that they're going to learn something else that we haven't modeled? They're going to learn patience and compassion and empathy and kindness and doing things for others, and allowing people to make mistakes and being compassionate. They're not going to learn that. They're going to learn what we're modeling to them, which is, this is what punishment is. When you mess up or make a mistake or do the wrong thing, I will make you suffer. I will make you regret that. I will make you feel so awful by taking something off you, isolating you, putting you in timeout or grounding you. I'm going to do something that is going to make you think, ugh, I hate this. I'm not going to do that thing again. I get that there's like some thin threads of logic in there. But what this misses is that when a child or an adult is punished for doing something wrong, they are very often in this fight or flight state where they feel, number one, ashamed because they've done the wrong thing and they've been caught out. Number two, they feel attacked because you've let them have it, right? And number three, they do not feel close, connected with you. They don't feel empathetic, and their brain is not in the zone for learning, for taking in what you're saying, the lesson that you're trying to teach, right? They're not learning why it's important not to hit their brother or not to take a sixth cookie from the jar, right? They're just learning that I better not get in trouble next time. I better not get caught next time because otherwise I'm going to absolutely cop it. So, and we know from research that this can create kids who are more secretive and they will hide their mistakes. That's the last thing that we want kids doing. We want kids owning up to their mistakes. We want them to learn how to be accountable, to be vulnerable, which is really bloody hard. No one likes being vulnerable and saying, yeah, I did the wrong thing. Yes, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done something different. That's the stuff we want to teach our kids, and we are absolutely squashing that down when we forget about emotional intelligence and handling our own triggers and emotions, and we just hammer them and shame them. We forget all that stuff. Punishment doesn't teach, it shuts down. So we close off any connection we had with our child to help them to learn why they shouldn't do that thing or why they need to do this thing, brush their teeth or whatever. We cut off that connection and we push them into a state of fight or flight because we're probably triggered too. How could you? How dare you? I've raised you better than this. Don't you lie to me. Like, oh my gosh, don't worry. I have been there too. So I'm not trying to profess to be this perfect parent, right? But I have to set the record straight because like I said before, there are still so many people out there who believe that when kids mess up or make a mistake, they need to be disciplined, which actually they're talking about punishment. They need consequences, punishments to suffer. What they actually do need is the correct meaning of discipline. We want to discipline. I discipline my kids all day, every day. Discipline actually means to teach. It's been muddled, confused, and pulled apart, and now it means to suffer and to force someone to your will, right? But it actually means, if you think of the word discipline, and a disciple is a student or a learner. Of course I'm teaching my kids. Of course I want them to learn from me. But people who learn from the adults around them, they are often inspired or they admire those people, right? I want my kids to feel that way because then I'm going to get through to them. Then they're going to take on the message and they're going to learn the lesson because it's coming from a place of love, compassion, right? The kids are meant to make mistakes because their brain is under construction. So that's the space we want to be in. Yes, we can discipline our kids. Yes, we can even say, hey, there's a consequence for your action. If you hit your brother and you say, I don't care, well then do you think he's going to want to share his toys with you later on? Do you think he's going to lend you his scooter that you've been playing with? Or do you think he's going to allow you to, borrow something of yours or want to play with you? Like, when we remind ourselves what discipline actually means, and when we dial up our own emotional intelligence, we let go of the things that trigger us, of all the stories that are actually not even true about kids and their behavior and punishment. And then we start going, yeah, I do want my kids to learn. And yeah, I do want to teach them. And this is actually really, really important. Our kids are going to need this, not just now, but in the future as well. Okay, because they're facing a future that is full of the online world and AI and possibly disconnection, right? We need to be there to provide it for them. Emotional intelligence is the new discipline method. It builds cooperation through connection, not fear. Again, when kids are punished, they go into fear. They go into fight or flight. A really mad parent is scary, right? They will do anything possible to get back your love. It might look like they've learned a lesson, but you will notice that you are probably punishing the same things the very next day and the very next week, and it continues to happen. It doesn't work in the long run. And plus, I do not want to be teaching my kids that when someone around you messes up or makes a mistake or hurts you, you punish them, you make them sorry, and you make them absolutely wish that they were never born. I don't want that. I want them to learn conflict resolution. I want them to be intelligent with their emotions. I want them to be kind, empathetic, have boundaries, absolutely. But I also want them to know how to solve problems compassionately and assertively and in a productive way that benefits everyone. So we're left with emotional intelligence is not a luxury. It actually never has been. It's a non-negotiable. It is an absolute necessity for today's parents. Without it, you're going to stay stuck in these loops and probably these cycles that maybe you experienced as a child: shame, yelling, and disconnection. But with it, you will build connected relationships where your kids want to learn from you. They do listen to you, and you understand them and they understand you. It goes both ways. They are going to thrive emotionally, socially, and mentally. I know I am super passionate about this stuff. I know I am super passionate about this, but it is not just my opinion. There is oodles of research that supports emotional intelligence in parenting, and it supports our different lens, our new way of understanding behavior and emotions in kids. The thing is, it starts with us. It has to start with us. We know our child, their brain is still under construction, all the way through to the late 20s. We can't rely on them to be the ones that change or suddenly mature or develop all these connections. That is on us. That is our job. We are being called to parent from a higher place. And when you do, I promise you, everything changes. If you find yourself still being reactive and snapping and yelling, number one, you are not alone. Number two, there is so much support and help out there. You guys know I'm doing videos, I do podcasts, I have courses, like there's so much out there that I can support you with. The one thing I want to let you know today is about my course From Reactive to Responsive Parenting. If this sounds like you and you're ready to take that next step, please have a look below. I have put a code there for you. I would love you to get that at a massive discount. Instead of paying $97, just pay $17. I want as many parents to have this as possible. This is my gift to you. Please go and take it. Just see the transformation in your family for yourself. It is absolutely worth it. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in another video soon online.